Good morning. Welcome back. Sending Ravens. This is our daily cards. Got them all shuffled. See what we got. The Chariot. First card pull. And the Queen of Swords. Oh boy. Queen of Swords. Wow, those two are intense together and there's a directness. Chariot can be very direct and driven. There's a drivenness. See there? Chariot. So he's all in his armor here, and he believes he's in charge, or he's behaving like he's in charge, but really these two mystical creatures are actually in charge. So the bigger universe is really in charge, but this guy believes, or this person believes, that they're in charge. Sometimes that's a little insight into the card. There's a minor wheel of fortune here. Let's look really close there. A little symbol there to say that destiny is in effect here. And when major arcana show up in a reading, it does mean there's something destined or something. And what I mean by that is something's already been created. So by our own, I believe we create our destiny by thinking, intending, visualizing, and all our past actions lead to what is now called destiny. So it's something that's already been created, a predestined thing. And then there's the odd bigger destiny that's created by the world, right? So like world events. Obviously, we didn't personally create those, but we might have created them with our generation or with the way humans have been behaving. You know, and it gets big, right? It gets really big like that. Okay, so we've got this card here says you might have woke up feeling really on top of things, or like you really want to get busy with something, or you might even have had a bee in your bonnet about something, because it's clarified by the Queen of Swords. Now let's have a look at her. So the Queen of Swords, she's very direct. She's very direct, and they say, see this little bird here? They say you set yourself free with your boundaries and directness. So she frees herself to be direct and say exactly what she thinks, which is awesome. But if she's badly aspected, it can be that you have too many boundaries, you're being too critical, and you're too mean about something, right? Now her sword's straight up and down, so she thinks she knows something. So she's very sure about herself or something. And then add this Chariot here, that there's a lot of self-assuredness to the Chariot. And even if he doesn't have self-assuredness, or this person doesn't, they put on their armor and sort of fake it till they make it. So there's this energy, you know, you might have woke up with, that there's something you want to do or accomplish or get done, or you really had this intellectual idea or you know, an idea to say something to somebody or start something, okay, and you wanted to get right to it, but for some reason you need to wait. Okay, so see that wait card? Maybe it's just not the right day. Maybe you don't have the funds to do the thing, something like that, because this card sits on the fence a little, or there's a waiting, and this is in the atmosphere. So you're not doing this, but maybe the world feels like there's a block, maybe, right? So in the energy. So it's not you. You look like whoever's watching this is raring to go on something, or wants to say something, or wants to do something. And you came up with it in the past. Let's have a look at this card. That is the Seven of Swords. Now, a lot of people have all kinds of ideas about that card. That card to me, because it's swords are thoughts and words, this guy is changing his thoughts and words. So he keeps moving them around. So he's moving those swords. So he's strategically using thoughts and words to accomplish something or align with a philosophy, something like that. Sometimes the card is simply that. It's strategic. And sometimes it comes up as advice, like be strategic about how you say something. Say you're going in for an interview or something. Sometimes it'll come up to say someone is doing this. So if it's badly aspected, that might mean, okay, now they're just BSing to, you know, to tell you what you need to hear to get something done. Yes, it can be devious for sure, but it's not necessarily devious. We all do to some degree. We spin things, right? You know, to be kind even. Sometimes we'll say something, you know, in a kind way that's actually a harsh thing, but we don't want to be harsh. right? So the card isn't ultimately evil or anything, but a lot of people seem to think it is. But no, it isn't. It just means, you know, depending on how it's aspected, it could just mean you have thought about this and rearranged it until all of a sudden you have this really big idea you want to go forward with after having really thought about it and really, you know, even tried out different ways and different approaches. Now you think you got the approach, it looks like. Okay. And there's a bit of a hold or wait or hold up, maybe the person you want to speak to, or there's some reason why you get held up speaking to that person or taking that action you want to take. Okay, and the outcome while the hold up happens is the Ace of Cups. So, wow, the Ace of Cups could take you in a whole different direction, because all of a sudden you come into a really emotional, beautiful, loving place. Something touches your heart. So you kind of woke up maybe with a bit of a bee in your bonnet. You might even feel a little intense and a little mentally like you're more in your head than your heart. You have all these things you want to do. You might even be feeling a little judgmental. And then all of a sudden something really touches your heart today. Okay, see this Two of Cups here? That's the ultimate soulmate card, by the way, if it was a romance we were talking about. The card doesn't necessarily have to mean that every time, but it does mean something's touching your heart, and it's spiritually touching your heart. So in other words, it comes from a deep, deep place. So something will really touch your heart today. You might even get the feelies, have a good cry. Maybe it's even a happy cry or just joy. But joyful feelings, and sometimes joy brings tears, so don't be surprised, right? And then this beautiful card here, not really, sometimes it's difficult, says it might even help you let go of some things from the past, because this person's been stuck, focused on past events that didn't work out, instead of noticing the Two of Cups right behind them. In other words, instead of noticing, there's the Two of Cups. They didn't even notice. So something's been there all along. You see it today, even though you had a whole other agenda. And it's a feeling, emotional thing. And you end up having a great day, or at least a loving or feeling day, and really getting into your heart and feelings. Awesome. Have a wonderful day. And I hope this helped in some way. Do like and share the videos if you're enjoying them, and subscribe if you haven't already.